What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Anime Double Hunt, and I hope everyone's having an awesome day. Man, Gege dropped some heat with this chapter, bro. This chapter was absolutely all action, man. Like, bro, these are the type of chapters that make you like really enjoy the weekly experience of reading Jujutsu Kaisen. Not saying that every chapter that Gege has dropped has not been heat this year, because let's be honest, Gege has not missed all year, but bro, in this chapter, it was just straight hands, man. Like, let's keep it a bug. It was straight hands. We're about to get straight into this review, but if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and join the family. Get all sorts of awesome Jujutsu Kaisen content coming straight to your feed. Weekly reviews, character explain videos, arc analysis are coming soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Ability explained it, I just said it already, but man, I'm so hyped for this chapter. I cannot wait to review. If you end up enjoying the video, please go ahead and drop a like and definitely comment your thoughts on the chapter, what you thought and whatnot. With that being said, let us get straight into the review. So in the first panel, we get an overview on what Higurama's life looked like before becoming a sorcerer. So he was the 59th class innate lawyer association affiliation. He's 36 years old. He passed through many barriers such as the T University Law School acceptance exam. I believe that's some sort of hard exam in Japan probably to become like an official lawyer. And he did it on his first try. Ordinary people who learn of Higurama, so people that made Higurama, they thought this man was a fucking genius. So essentially, Higurama's a golden boy. Now, although everybody was amazed by Higurama's achievements and whatnot, to Higurama, these were all simple tasks. You learn the information, you apply it, and you get a good score. So essentially, to Higurama, these things weren't really achievements to him. So following this, we get the info that Higurama's actual raw talent wasn't these achievements. It was actually him as a sorcerer. But before we get into that, in the next panel we get Yuji and Higurama throwing it down. Higurama's just playing whack-a-mole with Yuji. Like, he's trying to hit Yuji. He's trying to hit Yuji with his mallet, and Yuji's just dodging all over the place. Like, bro, it's just crazy. So we then get a series of panels of Yuji and Higurama just going at it, and I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't more like Yuji and Higurama going at it. It was more like Higurama is trying to go for the kill and take Yuji out, and Yuji's just trying his best to evade Higurama's attacks. Man, Yuji is such in a blunder right now, bro. Higurama is a menace to society. And when the panel, Yuji manages to catch the mallet in his elbow, but Higurama ends up swinging it. You know, Yuji, my boy, know how to weave that shit. But yeah, we get to the part where we find out that Higurama's talent is actually as a sorcerer. And bro, I swear to God, Gege has been painting Higurama like he's some golden boy. Like, school has been easy to him. He's been an amazing lawyer and now a sorcerer. So we actually end up finding out that while researching his curse technique, he discovered that he could use domain expansion and basics without any practice. And by working backwards, reverse engineering the barrier technique, he got an intuition for strafing techniques by controlling curse energy. And mind you, this is very important. Like, bro, I could not believe this shit. Like, I'm like, bro, I don't even know if Gojo did this. But you know, Gojo's the GOAT, but in 12 days from awakening his curse technique, he grew to a level no different from a first grade sorcerer. He defeated countless cursed spirits before entering the colony, and he also defeated over 20 players who attacked him. So my boy Higurama managed to get to this level in a mere 12 days. 12 days. That's fucking crazy. Bro, I cannot imagine how strong Higurama would be if you gave him a year. He might pose himself as a S tier threat. I'm telling you, man. Higurama, he's elite, man. And to be honest, bro, Higurama has just been making the culling games fantastic. Like, I already liked everything before we got into it, the whole thing with Remy. I can't wait to see what Gege does with that. But like, Higurama is such a fantastic antagonist. Like, I cannot wait to see how this fight closes out. But moving on, Higurama and Yuji pause the fighting and then begin to talk. Higurama says to Yuji, "You're unable to muster curse energy." Yuji says, "Yeah, you're the one that did this to me." Higurama then goes on to explain the penalty of confiscation temporarily makes people unable to use their curse technique. Higurama's like, "I'm guessing you didn't have curse technique." Higurama then thinks for a second in his head that this is a bit worrisome. He then goes on to say, so the penalty must have changed to be unable to use curse energy. Higurama then questions on how Yuji is able to fight without curse energy. He then goes on to explain to Yuji, by the way, confiscation is supposed to be a supplementary punishment that's not imposed by itself. He then goes on to think it's not his strength as a sorcerer, it's his natural body. His durability as an organism must be overwhelming. He then goes on to add, or think, when sorcerers are unable to use their curse technique, It's common for their basic control of a cursed energy to become a mess as well. The intuition they built over the years must become dull. The complete disability of cursed energy is even more disadvantaged, yet he's putting up quite a fight. Ordinary opponents would have been finished from a single blow. He'll knock me out if I underestimate him. I'll crush him with everything I have. We then go on to see Higurama then turns his mallet into like a scythe. I mean, it's not sharp, but pause, is really long. But I'm glad to see Higurama, you know, he's not just like letting his talent or his confidence in his ability to perform as a sorcerer, but he's also keeping in mind the fact that Yuji has been able to keep up with him despite not having any cursed energy. So we're not gonna get the standard, oh, you don't got cursed energy, there's no way you could beat me. No, Higurama's gonna keep everything in mind when fighting Yuji. He's not gonna underestimate him or downplay him, because if he does, he knows he's gonna get his ass knocked out or probably even killed, depending on if Sukuna ends up taking over or if Yuji says fuck it. Higurama then goes on to swing his mallet. Yuji's just dodging that shit all over the bro. This fight is fucking, I cannot wait to see Mappa animate this and turn this into a Picasso painting. Higurama then goes on to hit Yuji with his mallet, but then Yuji grabs onto it. He tries to break it, but Higurama ends up pulling back, and Higurama just ends up smashing the whole fucking bathtub. And I think he uses that as a diversion, because like considering the water's all in front of Yuji's face, and then he tries to go ahead and attack Yuji, and then he ends up making the mallet huge. Like, bro, I can't imagine like how awesome would it be to play as Higurama in the Jujutsu Kaisen game. Can you just imagine? So back to the chapter. As Yuji's getting crushed by Higurama's huge mallet, he tries to think of a way as to how he can escape this. Higurama then comments on how Yuji's like a fucking indestructible doll, and he gives Yuji his props. He says it's amazing. Turn to Yuji, who's in a bit of a blunder, and he's thinking shit. Okay, when the fuck is this cursed energy gonna come back? Because time is of the essence. This dude is gonna crush me with this huge ass mallet. I need cursed energy as soon as possible. But then he thinks an insane ability like this, there must be some kind of downside for Higurama. As the mallet caves in, Yuji thinks really hard, and then he remembers Higurama's curse technique is based off a court system. He then says, Higurama, I want to redo it one more time. This ends up activating Higurama's domain expansion and gives our boy Yuji another trial. Higurama then says, you know this. And Yuji's like, okay, close one, it's the second trial. He then remembers any defendant that has been sentenced guilty and penalized by judgment may request up to 2 trials provided they hadn't pleaded guilty before. Judgment will not deny this request. Okay, Yuji's he's trying to catch his breath. That was a close one for him. He then says, okay, come on, one more time. The judgment then brings up the Shibuya incident. He then says, I don't know if it's a he or she, but it says, we're going to go with A. It says, Itadori Yuji is accused under suspicion of committing mass murder in Shibuya on October 31st, 2018. Now, I feel like this moment of the chapter transitioned us into a very dark tone. I mean, we had a serious tone throughout the whole battle with Higurama and Yuji, but I feel like things got really dark once the judgment brought up the Shibuya incident. In the following panel, Yuji admits and says, yeah, I killed them all. I'm not lying nor trying to deny it. And Higurama gets absolutely pissed. But before I get on to the final panel of the chapter, I have to talk about this panel. Bro, Yuji looks so damn sad, bro. Like, oh my god. I don't know how to describe his facial expression, and Higurama absolutely looks like he's in shock, like he can't believe it actually, and this actually ends up pissing him off even more. So I feel like this battle is about to get even darker, and Higurama's about to go berserk next chapter. But moving on to the final panel. The judgment then says guilty confiscation, death penalty. Then get the words capital verdict has been decided. So I don't know how this is about to play out. I mean, man, I have so much respect for Yuji for even, you know, openly coming to admit it. For someone to go through something like that, you're gonna try to convince yourself 1,000 times that you didn't do that. Like, you could not have done that, you know, a crime so severe like that. And Yuji actually didn't really do it, but I mean, Sukuna took over his body, and he kind of did it, you know. And it's just so sad, and it pains him. And you know, that was one of the reasons why Yuji felt like during Shibuya and during the Yuji extermination arc that he should be executed right on the spot. He doesn't even deserve to live, you know. So this whole thing with, you know, him admitting to that mass murder is just, it's crazy, man. And till this day, you could see it pains him till this day. But I think one of the key things to moving forward is him accepting that he did that. And, you know, those people's lives can be brought back, but all you can do is accept what's happened and move forward. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Hit the subscribe button for more content. Man, this chapter was absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. I think this fight is about to get a whole lot bloodier. I wonder how Yuji's gonna get his curse technique back. I'm really curious as to see how Higurama is gonna be dealt with. Is he gonna be alive after this battle, or is he gonna die? I'm really curious, but I mean, it is a death match, so it's one or the other. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it all the way up to here, I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.